Hey, so this video is on reasons why people who are empath might think that they're crazy. And this is coming from my experience as an empath, believing I was crazy for the vast majority of my life until I learned about being an empath. So basically, you have a lot of anxiety and don't know why. And the anxiety actually has to do with your nerves being like overloaded with the amount of information that you're picking up from the environment, and it causes the sensation of anxiety. Now obviously you could have anxiety as well for other reasons, but even if you don't have a reason to have anxiety, like you're actually feeling like pretty chill and happy, you can have this feeling of being overwhelmed and overstimulated because you are an empath and you're just receiving so much information. But it makes you feel crazy because you think, oh, I'm just, not doing anything stressful, so like why am I feeling so overloaded when like nothing's happening? Well, you say nothing's happening because maybe you're just chilling in the mall or something, but there's so much happening on an energetic level, but we're just not aware that we're picking up on all that, and that's what's making us feel overwhelmed. And also, when you get bad vibes from someone and no one else picks up on that, like everyone else likes this person. So I thought that I was crazy because I was the only one that like thought that there was like something, I don't know, mean or kind of like gossipy, like you just got some kind of bad vibe. And everyone else was like, no, that person's really cool, like I really like them. And then you're like, oh, okay, I guess I'm the one with the wrong perception. And the main thing is that I just had this roller coaster of emotion just because I was tuning into everyone else, right? So one moment I'm happy sitting beside this person, and then I get up to talk to that person, and now I feel super depressed. And then maybe someone turns on the TV and there's like something really violent, so now I feel super afraid in response to seeing, the horror scene on the TV or whatever. So you feel like your emotions are just all over the place. They make no sense whatsoever. Why am I feeling depressed? I have no reason to feel depressed, but it just came from you talking to that person and you picked up on it, and then you thought the thoughts were your own and the energy was your own, and then it just stayed with you, and you just have no awareness of like why your emotions are so crazy. And yeah, you've no way to like make sense of your own emotion because they're not even all yours. And feeling very tired and overwhelmed when others are fine. So like I would get so tired just being around people, even if they're happy. Like it's just so much stimulation, and you just really feel like there's something wrong with you when everyone else is like having a great time, and you just want to go and take a nap, or you just want to go and be by yourself, and you have no idea why it's so hard for you to just like be normal. I felt like I was trying to cope with being human, but I didn't realize that I was not operating with the same hardware basically as other people. Like empaths just pick up on way more information from the environment. I think both the physical environment and the non-physical environment. And this does make us really tired, and it's just sad when we don't know why, and then we're blaming ourselves for like why we can't seem to do the things that normal people do. And another reason that you feel crazy is if you say to someone, why are you feeling sad, or like I sense you're feeling kind of sad, and the person says to you, no, I'm not sad. So then you're like, oh, so then you thought that you were being intuitive and like picking up on that, or maybe you were like just reading facial expressions or body language or whatever. You had a sense that this person was feeling sad, but then they're telling you that they're not. So then you just assume that you're wrong, but the person is actually in denial of their own emotion, and they're not willing to consider that you might be right. So they just immediately tell you that you're wrong because they don't understand that you're an empath, and you don't understand that you're an empath. So then you just think that you're crazy because people are telling you that what you're telling them about them is incorrect. So then I would feel like, how am I supposed to navigate life when my perception of everything seems to be off? Like, I don't like this person, everybody likes them. I like this person, but they're not really popular and they don't have a lot of friends. And that seems strange to me, like, because they seem really cool. And then I'm picking up on these vibes from these people, but then they're saying, no, that's not what I'm doing. So I just really felt like I was crazy. And I know that narcissistic abuse from my family just massively compounds the problem, because they will gaslight you on purpose to make you believe that you're crazy, independent of being an empath. So non-empaths who are narcissistically abused also believe they're crazy. But then also, when I would pick up on things about my family, such as the fact that I was being abused, if I like brought that up, they would just say, no, you're not being abused, we love you. And that just further compounded my thinking that my perception was off. And yet I kept feeling these things, and I kept trying to correct my perception based on what I was being told. So then you start to believe that abuse is love, because you're trying to fix your navigation system because you think it's wrong, but it's actually not wrong. And that's basically everything that I had. So the way, thankfully, out of this was to learn what an empath is, realize that that's what's going on with me, realize nothing wrong with me, realize other people's perception of themselves is limited. If they say to me, oh no, I'm not feeling that way, but that's what I perceive, it's them that's in denial. And just getting practice at believing that what I'm perceiving is accurate, and just knowing that your navigation system can't be broken. Like, the only thing that's flawed is that you're telling yourself that what you're perceiving is wrong. And obviously learning about narcissistic abuse was really huge for me too, and realizing that the gaslighting was going on. So I was intentionally being made to believe that I was crazy. But empaths in general often feel like they're crazy, I think, even if they weren't abused, just because this type of knowledge is like not mainstream, and then we don't really know how to work with it and how to release the things that aren't us, because we tend to just take it personally and think that everything that we feel is us. So that was really big for me too, was to realize that things are other people's things and I don't have to like take that on. So I just want to say that you're not crazy, and I think it's extremely normal, if not inevitable, to feel crazy before you learn about being an empath. And I hope that you can really get clear with yourself that you're not crazy. And even if you're confused sometimes about like what's going on, that's totally normal. I still don't fully know like what I'm feeling or where it's coming from, but at least we can tell ourselves that our perception of what's happening is not flawed. Like, we're able to perceive reality, and the better we get at being like sensitive to what we're feeling, I think the less and less crazy we will feel. So thanks for watching.